Okay, so it is with respect to the module 5, we will be discussing about the radio resource management and mobility management. Okay, so first is with respect to the PDCP overview. So what is this PDCP? PDCP is nothing but your packet data convergence protocol. Okay, so what does it do, why it is used, right? So PDCP protocol is giving information, the protocol, it's give information about your data, and it gives information about your control data and control plane, which we call, and this should be mapped to your radio resource. Okay, that is the thing, because you are having one device, and this device should be mapped to your radio channel, or what we call it as a network provider. So when these two devices get synchronized, then only you are able to transmit your data by using the control plane. Okay, so PDCP entity is associated either with the control plane or with the user plane, depending on which radio bearer it is carrying data for. Okay, so you should be knowing for whom I should give my information, so that it will be carried to the destination. Each radio bearer is associated with one PDCP entity, and each PDCP entity is associated with one or two RLC entity, depending on the radio bearer characteristic and RLC channel. So this radio bearer is again having two planes. One is user plane, one is control plane. Right? So for user plane, which are the entities should be added, and for which of the data entities should be added to the control plane. So that we are going to observe. PDCP is used only for radio bearers mapped on DCCH and DTCH type of logical channel. So data control channel and data transmission channel. So these are the two channels at the logical level which are present, and they are used to map these channels. Okay, so there should be some link which should be taken care. So this is a plane functionality of the user plane and functionality of the control plane. So here in the user plane, you can observe that PDCP, SAP, access point, service access point, and PDCP is nothing but your physical data, or PDCP is nothing but your packet data convergence protocol service access point. So user plane and control plane, it is just like data bus and control bus. So here it is user plane and control plane. So when a user plane wants to transmit the data, so what are the functionality it should do? So one is the sequence numbering, one is the header compression, one is ciphering the text, and one is your add PDCP header. Same way we have control plane. For this control plane, we have sequence number, we have integrity protection, we have ciphering, and we are going to add the packet data control. PDCP is nothing but your packet data convergence protocol header. So I am having a data. For this data, I am having the sequence number SN. I am having the header compression, and I will encode this data by using this ciphertext. So in the network and cyber security, you may be knowing your messages, how they are going to convert into a ciphertext value. So unique value, right? Add PDCP header, and by this you are going to transmit your data in the user plane or in the control plane. So now he is giving what are the features of this user plane. So header compression and decompression of the IP data flows with the robust header compression. So for this compressioning the data, I am using this ROHC. Okay, so today again I am giving a quiz for you people. From 11:35 it will start. So ROHC protocol, you will be observing the thing. So there you have to observe that it will do the compression and decompression. Ciphering and deciphering of user plane data are being done in sequence delivery and reordering of upper layer PDU, physical data unit, at handover, buffering and forwarding of upper layer PDUs from serving base station to the target base station during handover timer based discarding of SJUs in the secure data unit or security data unit. Okay, physical data unit and security data unit in the uplink. So by observing this information, what we understand is that in the user plane, some algorithms I'm going to use for compression, right? And that I'm going to use in my protocol. Ciphering and deciphering is nothing but your protection of your data. Sequence number, how we are doing reordering of the upper layer, why we have to do, because I'm going to transmit my data in a multiple way, MIMO. So I should require the sequencing numbering. Buffering and forwarding, why we have to do is that if my data, if it is lost, it should be resend back, and to do that resending option we are having this buffering and forwarding. And timer based discarding, why it is there, so when I transmit the data I should know whether my data is acknowledgement or not. Again, acknowledgement, we have positive and negative acknowledgement, so but timer based event we should do. Okay, so these are the features of this user plane. For the control plane, so nothing much we can do. It is only with respect to the ciphering and deciphering, integrating protection, transfer of control plane data, because RLC options given to the user plane, but options are not given for the control plane, which I cannot modify. That is at the resource or radio channel level, but it will be provided at the network provider, not with me. PDCP, PDUs can be divided into two types. As I said, control bus and data bus. So here also you are having data PDU and control PDU, which is physical data unit. Okay, it is used for both both for control and data user plane to transmit higher layer packets, and also to convey either user plane data containing compressed data or not. Okay, means from one layer to another layer it will transmit the data. It is going to check what type of control information we are giving. Now control information with respect to the data, it is nothing but whether you are reading the data, whether you are writing the data, right? So that control information will be present in this PDCP of PDU. In the control information or a control PDU, it is only used by a user plane to confirm that status report. So whether my data has been successfully reached or not. So that observation is going to do with this PDUs of the packet data convergence protocol. So this is the thing which is there. So here I am having user plane and here I am having a control plane, okay, for the PDU. So you can observe there is a initial data. Now for this initial data, we are going to do these three types. So what is going to do? So your initial data, which is your raw information, he will convert into the ciphered data, which is the encoded type of a data, and he use the algorithms, compression algorithm to do this one. Now for this cipher data, you are going to add this thing. So what is this PDCP SN? PDCP sequence number you are going to add. Okay. So for my raw information, convert to a encoded data, or which we call it as a cipher text, right? For this cipher text, I am going to add the sequence number. Right, that sequence number I call it as a PDCP sequence number. And one more you can observe, there is D/C. So what is this D/C? This is the control plane. Okay, so data plane or a control plane for the user. Okay, this is for the user that is present, and this is the things which I have to do, right? And this we call it as a format, PDU format, right? Physical data unit format. So your information will be converted into like this three section. One is ciphertext, one is PDCP sequence number, one is informing whether it is a data unit or whether it is a control plane. So this is at the user plane for the PDU format. Now same thing, PDU format for the control. So you are having some data, you are going to do the cipher data, and you are going to give the MAC address, and you are going to have the sequence number. So from this information, you will come to know what is ciphertext information, and you should have this control sequence number. And for this one, MAC layer. So it is just like from the physical layer, you are connecting to the next layer, which is a network layer or a data link layer. So the network layer, what it will be do? It will be having the destination address. So that is why you will be having this MAC I, medium access control I. Okay, that is the thing. So this information will be present at the two planes of the radio resource channel. Right. So there are three different types of PDCP data PDUs distinguished. Okay. So what are these three types? The PDCP is used to provide the robustness against the packet loss and to guarantee sequential delivery at the receiver. Next point is what? PDCP data PDO with the long SN. So long SN means what? Sequence number or your data information is having more number of bits. So for those bits again you are having three modes. One is unacknowledgement mode, one is acknowledgement mode, one is transparent mode. Right. So UM, AM and TM. So we will come to know whether my data it has been successfully delivered, unsuccessfully delivered, or actually what is trying to do. So this we are going to observe now. So PDCP data PDU for control plane consists of MAC-I field of a 32-bit for integrity protection. So these are the frames which you can observe. So you can see AM, acknowledgement mode, unacknowledgement mode. What is the length of the sequence number? It is of 12. And what does it do? User plane PDCP data PDU long SN. Right. So there will be some information like if I take a data of a PDF. Okay, the data will be in MB. If I take a word of Word, Microsoft Word, the data will be in KBs, right? If I take a image, the data will be in MB. If I take a audio play, it will be in MB. If I take a video application, then the data can be in GB. Right. So long sequence number, short sequence number, how many bits I need to assign. So what is applicable at the RLC? So acknowledgement and unacknowledgement mode is going to tell. Means what? He will tell you that for my data, acknowledgement mode is active or not. So that is what he is going to observe. And that PDU format, you can check what is the length of that one, what is applicable, what is the type which you are going to do. So now you see user frame long sequence number, it is having 12 bits and 7 bit. For this long sequence one, you are having this acknowledgement mode, also unacknowledgement mode. Okay, for PDCP of a short sequence number which is of length 7 bit, and here it is only of the acknowledgement unacknowledgement mode. Is for that one don't require any feedback. Okay, control plane it is of 5 bits. Both you have PDCP control for ROHS, it is for the compression part that he has given. For status report is the acknowledgement mode. So these are the different PDCP data unit part. So you should be knowing by these things. If it is a 12 bit, so it is having a long sequence number. If it is a 7 bit, it is a short sequence. If it is a compression value, then AM and RM is applicable. If it is a status report, then AM mode is activated. Right. So what is this header compression? So this protocol in LTE is based on the ROHS framework. It is for the reduced opcode header compression type defined by the Internet Engineering Task Force IETF. Header compression is performed only on the user plane data. Header compression is required once since all the services in the are of IP based. So you can observe that what is the things protocol values it is going to have. These protocol bring a significant amount of header overhead at the network layer, which is the IP, which is a transport layer TCP and UDP, and at the application layer it is the RTP protocol. So all these protocols will be having a clear picture, right? Redundant and repetitive information unnecessarily consumer radio resource. So these are the values which you can observe supported the header compression protocols and their profile. RFC 4995, it is for the no compression, right? IP, because these values, why it is required, these values we should write it in the protocol, right, format, and that we need to send. Sir, where I am going to observe these things? For the device level, it will be at the IPv4, which is your system requirement. And for the network provider, so those provider values it is going to check. So UDP, no compression, TCP/IP, Internet protocol, user datagram protocol, right, special purpose protocol. So all those protocols you can have. And what is the reference it is going to take? This is with respect to the physical devices, which is going to be highlighted in this part. Right, integrity and ciphering. So security related functions, right, password and all those things. Now you observe that when the username and password it is there. So in the net banking, okay, if I take that example, so if I open that session, internet banking, so that it will open in a separate window, okay, and there username you cannot save, your password you cannot save, that option is not given to you, okay, and that application it is only for the time bound. So after 5 minutes if I try to open, it will tell that my session is ended, okay. So if I take a Gmail application, so username and password you will tell that whether you wanted to save this for the future use, okay. So you'll be having these information, so that information only is trying to tell here. So what is the counter value, how many bit it will do, what is the sequence number. So obviously format of the count it is of 32-bit length. So header format HFN is nothing but your hyperframe number, and PDCP SN is your nothing but your packet data conversion protocol sequence number. Right. Integrity protection is performed only for control plane. It is given by the MAC address of 32-bit length. It follows the key providation of the radio bearer count value and the direction of transmission. The receiver computes the expected message authentication code of the received message using the same parameter and algorithm used by the sender. If this does not match with the MAC1 field, one second. That if this does not match with MAC1 field, then PDCP PDU will not pass integrity check and PDCP will be discarded, like username and password matching, which I just given as an example. Okay, ciphering is performed on both control plane and user plane. For control plane, the data ciphered is given as a data part of the MAC layer, but for the data plane, it is only for the PDU, which we have to do. Ciphering function is activated by upper layers and is usually done using a XOR operation of the data unit. So you might be knowing the data operation, because in the computer communication network we were having this different classful address and classless address. So there we were doing first finding the first address and finding the last address, we were trying to do with the XOR operation. So it is only for generating that what value it will start and what value it will end, because I should know how much data it is going to allocate. Okay, so that is why this XOR operation and the ciphertext which is saying in this slide. Ciphering stream is generated by the ciphering algorithm based on the ciphering keys, radio bearer identity, count values, transmission direction, and the length of the key tree. Right. So this all with respect to the user plane and data plane of RRC of the PDCP. Now next concept is of on the MAC RLC overview, medium access control or resource location control overview, right. So here you can observe that this is a, earlier we were trying to know only that how your hardware device will be connected. Now next part is your segmenting at the data link layer. So RLC layer performs segmentation and concatenation on PDUs based on the size indicated by the MAC. RLC also reorders the PDUs if they receive data of order HRQ process in MAC layer. All the transmitter and the receiver, there is one RLC entity per radio bearer. MAC layer perform multiplexing and demultiplexing, provide services to RLC. So MAC overview, yes, just said. So I said that there are three modes, okay, data transferring, there are three modes. One is transparent mode, one is unacknowledgement mode, one is the acknowledgement mode. Okay, so you can see here function of RLC layered or performed by RLC entities. Each entity can be performed operated in three modes: transparent mode, unacknowledged mode, and acknowledgement mode. So these three modes are different from what we observe on the user plane and data plane. Now these three modes are present at the MAC layer. So my program, my data, ciphertext, added sequence number, and I have transmitted. Now it is at the MAC layer, right? So this MAC layer should understand what data I am transmitting, receive the data, send an acknowledgement, unacknowledgement, or transmitting mode. So this is at the server part which is trying to tell. So transparent mode RLC entity does not add header or does not segment or does not do any concatenation. Okay. This mode is suitable for services that do not need retransmission or are of sensitive to deliver. Only broadcast system information and paging messages use the TM mode and RLC mode. Okay. So acknowledgement mode. What is this mode? UM mode provide a sequence delivery of data that may be received out of sequence due to the HARQ process. So unacknowledgement mode, why we have to tell is that because you are receiving data of different order and still I have not received the data, what I have to do, I need to retransmit, and to do this one I am going to use this voice over IP for which I have to do, and different channel for my transmission. So UMRLC entity perform duplicate detection, reordering and reassembly of the UMD PDU, right? So to explain this part, I'll just take this PDF. Okay, I'll just take one PDF. 1 second. Just a second. Okay, to explain this PDF part. So again, I'll just take the same concept. Right. So this is a time slot. Right. So this is a sender, and this is a receiver part. Right. And there is a time clock which will be present. Okay. So send, receive. This we call successful. Send. Okay. What I'll do, I will not put send. I'll put sent but data lost. Okay. So time period will be there. So within this time period, no response. Then what happens? This will retransmit and you will get an acknowledgement. Okay. So this is a one more set. Okay. This is one more set. Now third part. Okay. Now third part. I have sent, I have acknowledgement sent, but the acknowledgement is lost. Okay. So timer ends. Okay. Then retransmission. Okay. Retransmission. Okay. So he retransmitted. Now this sequence number, suppose say if it is 1. So acknowledgement lost. He doesn't know that one. Okay. So sender will think what? So data is not delivered. So he will do retransmission. Okay. So now what is the sequence number I am going to get? The sequence number will be 1. Is it or not? Now this sequence number, this receiver, he will put in his memory. Okay. So you will see this is a sequence number order. Okay. So he will check about this one value. So this sequence number is 1. Now he got retransmission data. So this data is again a copy of this one. Okay, this is a copy. So this one, whether it will go and sit here, it will not sit here. Okay, so where this will go and sit, so this will be sitting into this location only. So it is overwriting. This is an example which we do in the copy and saving the things. Okay, copy and save kind of a thing data, right? Suppose if I tell, if I wanted to give an example, what I do, I cannot, because when I want to copy also, you are facing the same thing, is it or no? When I'm copying the data from one folder to another folder, if that folder is already present, it will ask already contains a folder whether you want it to once again copy the same thing. If you tell yes, then same content will be once again copied into the same location. It will not copy into the different part. Okay, that is the meaning what he is trying to add. And whatever that copied is a no, it is the duplicate version. It is not the original because he is not going to create. And that concept only is trying to address here. So EUM mode provides in sequence delivery of data that may be received out of sequence. This mode can be used as VoIP or transmit UM segment concatenate. ULC performs duplicate detection and reordering and reassembling of the UMD PD use. Acknowledgement mode, so when data everything is collect, you will tell that, it will update that all data received. Okay, so that is what now we will be doing. Okay, once data is successfully done, you require an acknowledgement. The purpose of this MAC layer, so what this will do, MAC and RLC layer, so it will transfer receiver PDUs, physical data units, from upper layer, error correction through ARQs, concatenation, segmentation and reassemble of RLC, resegmentation of RLC data using PDUs, in sequence delivery of upper layer, duplicate detection, protocol error detection and recovery, RLC SDU discard, RLC re-establishment, right? So that is what I will do. I will make one Google form, I will distribute to you and I will ask you to upload. So you people, you will open that Google form, fill all the things and you will submit. Now someone call me and tell that, sir, some mistakes I have done, whether I want to resubmit it. I will make correction in the Google form that only one time you are able to upload the data. If I want, I can make some edit option, edit your response. So if I enable that one, you will be able to edit your data, but that will be stored into the same location. It is not going to do multiple location. That is the meaning what is trying to address here. So all the services, so general services which are provided by the MAC layer, you can observe in this slide. Okay. It defines two MAC entities, one is for the user and one is for the base station. Okay, that is present. The main services or function of the MAC sublayer include mapping logical channels and transport channel, multiplexing, multiplexing, scheduling for both downlink and uplink transmission. See, now I have scheduled the quiz. Okay, and schedule time I have given 11:40. So exactly at 11:40 that quiz will be opened and it will be present. So no channel or nothing have been mapped. Okay. Error detection, transport format selection, padding is done. So padding, why we have to do is it because 32-bit length, if 32-bit length data if it is not there, it is going to add number of zeros. That is the role of this one. Next comes is your PDU, physical data unit, header and its format. So what are the different formats you have? So we have seen transparent mode, UM mode, AM mode, PDU, RLCs, right? Acknowledgement mode, HARQ. For all these things you require some header values and that header values we are going to add for your data. And we are not going to do the network device physical layer, it will do. I'll just show you the format. So you can see here this is a data. right? So these are the mode, TM mode, UM mode, AM mode, right? This is a segment, and these are the values which are been present. So data on control, repeat, frequency, forward, enable, sequence number, lower nipple, right? So these are your header. Always when I tell the header part, I will just tell the postcard example. Why postcard? If I just write to Rajendra Prasad and if I post it, so how many Rajendra Prasad are there? Two Rajendra Prasad SVCE. So whether Rajendra Prasad is a student, a faculty, we don't know. So two Rajendra Prasad, associate professor, department of ENCE, SVCE, then it will come and reach to me. So these are the different header formats which is present over here, right? So what is this header format? So framing information, this is FI value, okay? FI value, which is this value, FI value, E value, SN value, E value, LI value. So what is this FI value? It is frame information. LI value, it is a length indicator. FI value, frame information, indicate whether the segmented data begin or the end. Length indicating what is the value, right? SN value, sequence number. Data control value, resegmentation value, polling bit value, P value, right? Segment offset value, last segment flag value. See, these are the frame file format data values which has been added to your headed part. And these are the RLC header. One is DC and one is CPT. So CPT is your control PDU type and DC is your data and control type, and this control PDO type, again we have acknowledgement 1, extension 1 and extension 2 values with a negative acknowledgement, start of bit and start of end bit. Okay, so these are the different frame format values which has been present here. So MAC PDU formats. So what is this MAC column? Because from lower layer to the higher layer you are going. So MAC address and MAC control element, it should be present. So that is what is given here. So we have a payload header and we have a header value. So these are the two types which we have present. So again in this, again we have the, because you can observe that we are just knowing the frame format value which it should be present. And this, if I enable it, then it will activate, then it will perform its function. That is the meaning which you can find. So an example of a MAC sublayer, you can see L value, F value, LCID value, E value and RR value. So that example only. R bit is for the reserved bit, E is for the extension bit, LCID is for logical channel ID value, F indicating the size of the bit. If it is a 0, it is a 128 bit. If it is a 1, that means L is for the length, size of the bit, MAC control element is for the continuation part. This is a random access response part which you can observe here. So all those part will be there. Now it is for the ARQ procedures. So ARQ procedure is nothing but for the automatic repeat request procedures, right? So we have different types, a fast HARQ, right? A highly reliable selective repeat ARQ. So in the CECN we were having these concept, selective repeat, right? Selective repeat protocol, a fast repeat protocol. So what is this selective repeat for protocol and all those protocol? So I'll just give an example here. I'll just erase this part. Right, so this is sender, this is receiver. So I will send one packet, okay, immediately I will get a response. Now I will send one segment, okay. 4 I have sent, 4 acknowledgement I should get. Okay. Now I am sending this point. This is lost. One timer will be there, timer end, again retransmission will be completely. Right, this is one type. One more type. One more type. I have transmitted. This is lost. I have transmitted acknowledgement. So I have lost only this one. So this I will select and I will retransmit. This is a one more type. One more type. normally by default condition this will be present. So I transmit till I get acknowledgement. I will not retransmit another pin. This is a basic version. So these are the different types which you can find, and that is what is trying to address here. To better support the upper layer services, a fast HARQ protocol with low latency and feedback, high reliable selective repeat ARQ protocol is used. HRQ protocol is responsible for handling transmission errors by performing retransmission. ARQ protocol in RLC is to correct the residual errors due to the error, and all those terms is explained here. Now next part is your RRC overview, and this RRC overview we will be doing in the next session. Okay.